Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the AfterShock EpiCenter live stream. I'm your host and the Senior Retailer Relations Manager here at AfterShock Comics, RuthAnn Thompson. We have a super exciting show for you today because we have so much that's coming out for a new comic book day tomorrow, and we have a happy hour to talk about that's going to be on Thursday. So let's jump right into it. Hey, Pivot J, good to see you, buddy. Glad everybody's joining in. I know we're a couple minutes late, so come on, join the chat. We're here to talk about these amazing books. So, first up, we are so excited for our very first title in our new YA imprint Seismic Press. So this is very exciting for Aftershock. We are delving into the YA titles, and we're going in full force with this title from Steve Orlando and Steve Fox with artist Valentina Brancati called Rainbow Bridge. So this is a beautiful OGN, and it's just of the sweetest story about Andy and his sweet, sweet dog Rocket, who they grew up together, but with Rocket serving as Andy's guardian through every single step in his childhood and his ups and his downs. But then Rocket passes away right before Andy's 14th birthday and right before he's going to head off to his first day of high school. So it's such a scary time for a young kid on top of everything else. And his parents are very understanding of their loss. They actually foster a lot of animals themselves. And he just can't seem to get in the groove and be able to handle the transition into high school without Rocket at his side. So the day before school starts, when Andy is at his lowest, he visits Rocket's grave and unexpectedly summons the Rainbow Bridge. Anybody else getting some Bifrost feels? I did. I love this book so much. It's so sweet. And then it gets a little dark and scary because this Rainbow Bridge is the gateway to a fantasy world where the pets discover their afterlife. But there's a dark shadow in this paradise, and without Andy's help, Rocket's attorney might be grim. So this is our first graphic novel out from Aftershock's new YA imprint, Seismic Press. This is a 120-page original graphic novel, and it will resonate with anybody who's ever had a pet and had to say goodbye to a loved one, because it's such a beautiful and a perfect way of perfect send-off. So it's very sweet. Oh, hello, Hugo. He says hello from Portugal. Hello. Wow, I didn't know we had such a far reach. Hopefully, you are reading our comic books and enjoying. I'm glad you like it. It looks absolutely beautiful. I love the artwork, and one of the things about in the Rainbow Bridge when they're in the afterlife land that I absolutely love is that the animals are all like larger than life. So there's like certain points that Andy is basically riding what used to be his tiny little corgi, and now is basically the size of a warhorse. It's very fun. So for anybody of all ages, I highly suggest this titles in bookshops tomorrow for New Comic Book Day. Also, getting right back into the Aftershock titles, we have a brand new #1 that we're very stoked about. This is CAMPISI, The Dragon Incident #1. So for anybody that knows me, I love me some fantasy, and if you throw some dragons in there, I'm even more on board. So this comes from writer James Patrick and artist Marco Locchiati. And if you have any experience with James Patrick's works with us before, he did a great mashup kaiju score with us earlier last year, and it was very fun of a kaiju Godzilla movie mixed with a Quentin Tarantino heist type movie. So this is a little bit of a mixed genre as well, with a monster dragon element of fantasy, but mixed into some Goodfellas, The Pope of Greenwich Village, Ocean's 11, and the Italian Job, kind of all mixed in one. So this is following our lead character, Sonny Campisi. He's a small-time fixer for the mob-controlled neighborhood of Green Village. If you didn't pay your gambling debt, he'll come to collect. If you get a little rough with one of the girls, he'll get a little rough with you. But when a literal dragon flies into town, Sonny is the one who is tasked to get rid of it. It's a problem unlike he's ever faced, and a chain of events begins that will affect everyone who lives in that neighborhood, especially Sonny. And this title takes you someplace that you're not really wasn't expecting. I have to say, Sonny he's a good guy at the end of the day. And I think you'll really get into this title. And there's a whole history of the dragons that you get, as well as with every one of our new #1s, we have 4 extra pages of content. And the 4 pages of content in this one is a report that he did in like the 4th grade, all about dragons. Because in this world, dragons existed at one point, but usually they're only a few and far between. And we find out why in this book as well. Pivot J, I agree. Dragons, that's all I'm all about. And Hugo, absolutely, it's a beautiful cover. This artwork from Marco is just perfect for this title. It has this kind of fantastical feel with a little bit of that dry, like Italian job feel to it. Can't not suggest this title more. Really stoked about it. And also for New Comic Book Day, we have so many titles for this New Comic Book Day, guys. We have the follow-up of Clans of BELARI. So this is Clans of BELARI issue number 2. So this is from writers Peter Blackie, Rob Blackie, and artist Daniel Main. This is an epic sci-fi opera. I kind of call it Gattaca meets Firefly and Battlestar Galactica, because in this world, every single world has, or in this universe, every single world has its own jobs that they do. It's very specific. You cannot cross over. It's like their very own unions. And if you missed out on the first issue, I highly suggest picking it up. There's a lot of information in that one. This is the big title, and this second issue continues as the clan chieftains rebuke Cluthan's bid for chieftain status. So he turns to amassing alien tech weapons with which he may take what he wants by force. Taya she's gotten a taste for flying, and despite the class rules against her, she wants nothing more than to become a pilot. But again, she was not born of that, so she's technically not allowed to. But she convinces Gummy to pressure a mysterious underground operator to circumvent the rules. But in doing so, Gummy has made a deal with the devil. Yes, that one. It's a certain comeback to haunt him, and it's going to come back to haunt him and Tay. So if you like sci-fi epics, this is a beautiful one. The artwork from Daniel Main really encompasses it. It's absolutely fantastic. And oh, yes. So Hugo says you have to show us some inside pics next video. We can't show you the inside pics yet because it doesn't come out till tomorrow. So you have to head to your local comic book shop and grab them there. And we also have the huge hit of Bunny Mask number 3 hitting shelves tomorrow. So we're really excited that the first issue of this has actually become our top selling comic book of all time for AfterShock. So thank you for all of you that went out and bought up that comic book. Very stoked about that. And this is from writer Paul Toman and artist Andre Muti. So with armed intruders in his apartment and an eerie supernatural creature in his bed, Tyler Severin feels like his life couldn't get much worse. Yet the mysterious snitch has more revelations for Tyler, secrets about B. Foster that lead back to caves where Bunny Mask was found, and a revelation that Tyler isn't the only one who hears the snitch voices. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, Bunny Mask. I agree, Pivot. I can't wait for you guys to read this issue. I don't want to spoil too much. It's fantastic. Andre's artwork is so wonderfully, like, it seems so soft because it seems very watercolor-esque, but it gets so gruesome, and it does such a great job of telling the story in such a wonderful, gruesome way. It's fantastic. So with each issue of Bunny Mask, it is 24 pages of story art with a beautiful cardstock cover. So make sure you pick this up. They sell out very quickly, so get to your local comic shops right away. So that is everything that's coming out in shops tomorrow. So we have Rainbow Bridge, CAMPISI number 1. We have the Clans of BELARI number 2 and Bunny Mask number 3. So that's 4 incredible titles for you to get tomorrow's during New Comic Book Day. And then once you read those, you need to come back here on Thursday because we have another happy hour live stream. So this week we're really, really stoked to be talking about both Rainbow Bridge and Party and Pray with the 2 creators, Steve Orlando and Steve Fox. So make sure you join in, pour yourself a drink. We'll talk all about these incredible titles as well as their total history in this comic book verse, because both are pretty big names out there. So we're really stoked to have them on board for yet another title with us. And as always, we'll follow up with the live sale, the world famous AfterShock live sale, where we'll have rarities, exclusive, and graded comics with publisher Joe Pruitt. I want to call him his nickname from the first episode we did with him, but I'm not allowed to anymore. So you're just going to have to go back and rewatch that episode of the happy hour. But we're going to have so much stuff. So we're going to have our happy hour are exclusive of CAMPISI #1 variant. And we're going to have a bunch of signed books as well. Dead Kings #1, graded books of Dead Kings, which is by Steve Orlando, Kaiju Squad #1 variant signed by Tony Harris, as well as Eden One Shock Incentive variant signed by Tony Harris, and Project Patron #1 Ambassador variant signed by Tony Harris. So all of these we sell at a fraction of the price, and they are selling for some pretty big numbers on eBay. So just putting it out there, you should come by and join. And in the spotlight coming up for the books that you need to keep an eye out for is we have Knock 'em Dead, the trade paperback. So this is going to be in shops on September 8th for a new date. And this, for anybody who's ever had any dalliances in the comedic scene, I highly suggest this book. Back in the day, I actually managed a comedy club in New York City, and I got a lot of feels from this book. So this is following Pryor Bryce, who is not doing very well as a comedian, but when he gets a ride home from another very good comedian, they get in a car accident and they both die, but somehow kind of Pryor comes back, but he's not quite the same. And it seems like he's actually embodied by the comedian who's much funnier. So then he actually finds a way to get famous and get a huge following by just replacing comedians within him. So it's this very twisty, supernatural story about stand-up comedy, family, as well as addiction, and what the price of fame can be. So this is another great one. So Nuno, thank you. Yes, another great cover for sure. So thank you for that. Also, fast approaching. So make sure you let your comic book shop owners know that you want to add these to your pull list so they don't sell out before you get them. So we have Search for Who #1. This is another one from Steve Orlando. I don't know. I think we like working with him. He's like, okay, whatever. And he is partnered with John Sui for this one and Artis Rubine. So this is a story of family, and it's within the Jewish mob. It's a whole very deep story. And so this follows Aaron Sui, who lives for his family and might die for his sins. So another great title coming out. And for all those that you might have missed this title before, Scouts Honor Trade Paperback. That's going to be in, you got to order that by August 16th. So make sure you let your local comic book shop know. So if you missed this incredible title from David Pepos, and you got to get it. It's so great. So it's all about a future world as to just using the Scouts Honor handbook, and that's all the rules. But there's a lot of twists and turns that happen in well, and we use the tagline, be prepared. Be very prepared. Highly suggest this title. And we just announced, for anybody that missed out on the Miskatonic title that we had coming out last year, we're doing a Miskatonic one-shot art, because this is such a great kind of what can we kind of mix this with? It's all that what was that latest TV show that just came out with that had all the spooky monsters? Anyways, but this is a story from Mark Sable and Giorgio Pontielli, and it's going to return to this prestige format one-shot, and it's called Miskatonic, Even Death May Die. The horrifying events in the Miskatonic Valley have torn apart retired detective Tom Malone and ex-FBI agent Miranda Keller. Miranda tries to escape a Deep One concentration camp, and a traumatized Tom is obsessed with finding and freeing her. But soon they both start sharing dreams of Cthulhu, a monstrous entity in the South Pacific who will soon awaken and bring about the end of the world as we know it. So if you like any of those Cthulhu tales and all that kind of stuff, highly suggest first picking up the trade paperback of Miskatonic, and then gonna buy up this beautiful art book for this one-shot prestige. Super stoked about it. Yes, Lovecraft Country. Thank you, Nuno. My little brain is not working. I did not have my coffee today. I appreciate you and all that you are. Lovecraft Country, indeed. If you like that show, pick up Miskatonic. And we had a wonderful title that came out last week, Out of Body #3. So let's see what our tweet of the week is for that title. And this is from Reading Flight Ring on Twitter. So Out of Body #3. The writing is stupendous, and the characterization is simply amazing, and it's all wrapped up in this gorgeous illustrative artwork. Yes, I absolutely agree with everything said there. Out of Body is such a fun title from Peter Milligan. So if you missed it last week, make sure you pick it up. It's fantastic. And You guys are just amazing. I love chatting with you guys every week on this chat here, and we are actually still looking for AfterShock. You get some too, and it's gonna be awesome. Oh no, did I? Uh, well, dag nabbit. Well, thankfully I have my incredible producer Stefan online, who just said I completely froze. So no, it wasn't you, Nuno. He just said he thinks that his internet is dying. It wasn't you, bro. It was on our side. So let me start over. Beep, 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 beep. We're looking for ambassadors for the AfterShock Ambassador program. So if you or somebody you know who's an AfterShock fan, live in either Toronto, Ontario, Los Angeles, California, or Washington, D.C., use that bit.ly link to apply today, because me and the rest of the team will interview you. And then if we bring you on, you get to work with me, Joe Pruitt, Mark Hammond, Kelly Diodati, and that you'll be bringing amazing stuff to all the retailers in your local area. And you get to keep some for yourself. It's pretty cool. So make sure you apply today if you live in those areas and are interested in having like a nice side job to earn some more comic book money and get some sweet AfterShock swag. So guys, thank you so much as always for being a part of the AfterShock family. Don't forget to come back here on Thursday for a happy hour, and make sure you stay safe out there. Wash your hands, wear your mask, keep your distance, and only read dangerously. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye now.